anyị wụ ụmụ Igbo nọ na London. Aha m Okechukwu Akasi. Anyị wụ ụmụ Igbo nọ na London sịrị ka anyị bịa jụọ gị ihe wụ ebumnobi gị gbasara Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, wụkwa na onye isi ọchịchị nọ na Nigeria taa, ma ị sọpọtụrụ re-election ya for second term because ọ nọ PDP, gụnwa nọ PPA, gụnwa na-adọ gọvanọ n'Imo steeti na PPA, ya nwa na-adọ second term presidency na PDP, ma ị sọpọtụrụ his re-election ma ọ sọpọtụghị ya, because anyị niile wụ ndị sọpọtụrụ ya. Anyị sị ka a bịa jụọ gị n'ọfịs gị taa. Ọkwa ihe anyị kwuru? Thank you.
My distinguished co-chair members, I'm going to speak in Igbo and I'm also going to speak in English. Firstly, in Igbo. Akasi, no one bịara ije a na-enye okwu. Agabara m esi ya n'otu ajụjụ maka ajụjụ ebuka. Mana ọwa ajụjụ onye hụrụ obodo n'anya. Ọwa ajụjụ onye echeghị maka ihe gbasara ndị ka ya. Mana aga m arịọ unu ka m kwuo ya n'okwu bekee. Igbo na-atọ m ụtọ, mana aga m asị ya n'okwu bekee ka ndị nwere ntị ha nụrụ. My distinguished friends and brothers, thank you for coming. And thank you for asking this question. I'm going to express to you my position as an individual and my position as gubernatorial aspirant of PPA regarding the issue of Jonathan. In 2011, I read about Jonathan. I studied the history, the biography, the story surrounding Jonathan. I came to a conclusion there is something special about this man. Because of that, while the deliberation and the confusion regarding the illness of a leader whom I personally respected called Yaradua. One of the reasons why I respected Yaradua is because Yaradua is one of the first executive graduate presidents of Nigeria. Nigeria has been a country with so many graduates, but none of the university graduates have ever ruled Nigeria until Yaradua came into power. And we can see the principles, the characteristics of a modern democrat in the person of Yaradua. However, as Yaradua became ill, I know that there is a divine calling surrounding a man called Jonathan. I also saw the uniqueness of Yaradua in Jonathan and the spiritual dimension based on the fact that there is a conflict in the Niger Delta as of the time. And Jonathan is from Niger Delta too. And Yaradua, instead of applying despotic brutality as we saw in Udi, and as we also saw in other head of states previous to Yaradua, this man, Yaradua, applied a diplomatic approach that led to the settlement of issue in Niger Delta, which actually increased Nigerian oil production, which is the main source of Nigerian export. Only Chineke knows the effect of that to the standard of living of Nigerian people and people in the sub-region. But when I realized that Yaradua cannot be with us any longer, I, with my friends, we are the first people to put the face of Jonathan in the Facebook as a potential substantive president of Nigeria. I wasn't considering Jonathan's tribe being an German because I believe in equity. I believe in Pan-Africanism. Those who know me very well know that I fight for the right of Muslims, I fight for the right of Christians. Because I believe that the truth is the truth. Either it's said in the evening or said in the night, because truth is absolute. Some of us go to church, and yet we do not recognize the importance of equity. Some of us hail Barack Obama, yet we condemn a minority from leading the country. In my own view, the emergency of Jonathan as the Nigerian president is a stabilizing force, in the sense that Jonathan is from a very minority ethnic group in Nigeria. For the fact that he rises from an ordinary man to the presidency is a type of American dream. It creates a sense that anybody from Kanuri, from Igala, from Idoma, from Efik, from Igbo, from any part of Nigeria can aspire to the highest office. This is a vision of Nigeria I wish is good for Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I have had a lot of criticism about Jonathan. Some have criticized him from being weak, ineffective. But what is the principle of democracy? The principle of democracy is government of the people, for the people, by the people. If this is the principle that we hold so dear, why should a man be criticized from showing magnanimity in his leadership, from showing humility in his leadership? Would we appreciate a situation where people are hanged for their personal views? Will we appreciate a situation that people are executed for their opinion? Do we appreciate a situation where leaders of their country are being assassinated in their houses and being killed? Do we want a government where a justice minister was killed in his own house and nobody ever till today questioned? Do we appreciate a situation where a journalist was killed with a letter bomb and nobody ever till today wonder what actually happened? That is why we actually put this picture here. I am not here to defend Jonathan. I'm here to defend justice. I'm here to defend what is right. I'm here to defend equity. I'm here to defend what is the basic feature of our people in what is right for our people. What is right for our people is justice. There cannot be peace in any country without justice. This man has no blood in his hand. This man has not toppled a legitimate government. This man has not carried a mutiny against his senior officers. This man is an ordinary man. And all of us here are ordinary people. Majority of the Nigerian people are ordinary people. If majority of Nigerian people are ordinary people, nothing can be better if that is led by ordinary people. Because ordinary people understand the situation of ordinary men. The crisis in the north is a crisis that I personally feel bad about. I am sure you will agree with me that Africa has shed a lot of blood. The death of innocent people. Why then, if we are empathetic to the life of ordinary people, why then should it be justified that people should expect Jonathan to show his power by being brutal, by killing thousands of people so that he will now be described as a great man? There is no greatness when a leader is murdering his own people. There is no greatness when a leader is assassinating his own people. There is no greatness when a leader fails to understand that for you to lead, you must learn to be humble. You must learn to realize that you are a servant of your people. Having said that, let us actually evaluate and compare Jonathan government with previous governments. For the last 30 years, ladies and gentlemen, I have not seen nor heard that there is a rail running anywhere in Nigeria. For a man to be visionary enough to realize there is a need for a rail system which is cost-effective, which will go far and faster and longer, creating hundreds of jobs, creating spots of development in any community where there is a station, I will consider such a man to be visionary. And cheap. Thank you, my brother. Now, light. Importers of generators in Nigeria for decades have held the country on hostage because they are making money in the vulnerability of our situation. I know that we cannot say now there is 24-hour light in Nigeria. But from what I have read and seen, which other people also admitted exist, there are structures in Nigeria that may, or that could, or that will, if I may say, lead to light. Light is important. We understand as Christians, and I also believe in Muslim religion, that one of the first things the Creator said, let there be light, and there is light. And from light, every other thing came into being. And I know that the investment already made by the government of Jonathan to light, when it comes to fruition, will make Nigeria the industrial and economic powerhouse of Sub-Saharan Africa. It is right and just that you should give such a man a credit. I do not want to go into ethnic dimension of the argument of Jonathan coming to presidency. But if we can and if we may be given the least of opportunity to make analysis, nobody will be in doubt that since Nigerian independence, a section of the country has ruled it for 38 years. And if a section of the country has ruled the entire nation for 38 years out of 53 or 54 years of existence of that country, you should ask yourself, what is equity? Irrespective of the leadership of a section of the country, Jonathan has done what no other leader in the history of Nigeria have done by guaranteeing mass education in the north. The Alamajeris. For he that has education has power, for he that has knowledge has vision. Every part of this country is important for the African continent. Because when you educate people in the north, you increase our food production. You increase an understanding and cohesion within the system. The investment already made in education in the north under Jonathan's administration is something that is priceless. I know that we all here can have a tribal sentiment. But it takes a man to mature in his thinking, to realize there is good in everyone. There is good in every society. And so there is evil. But what can be more evil and what can be more unjust that in 2015 we are proposing to elect a man that toppled a legitimate democratic government? What can be unjust that in a population which its majority is young people between the age of 18 to 55 to 60, we are still proposing older men to lead? I am not saying there is something wrong in old men leading, because in America, Reagan led. But America is a different democracy. It's a mature democracy. We are a growing democracy. And if we are a growing democracy, I think we need younger people. That is why Mandela gave an example of how leadership should be conducted. Younger people knows what is required in a modern mind. A modern mind needs to be articulated. A modern mind needs to be visionary. A modern mind needs to be computer literate. A modern mind needs to have the energy to be competitive with the best in the world. If a man have not been able to deliver for the past 72 years, it would be an irony to think otherwise. Africa has for many years been riddled with aging leaders. And we can see the results. There is this argument, my people, there is this argument that a respectable general, Muhammadu Buhari, will stop Boko Haram. But I want to ask Nigerian people a simple question. The question is, if you are a patriotic citizen and you have the knowledge and the technical know-how and the military capability and tactical knowledge to stop an asymmetric warfare, do you need to be president to give your country the solution? No. If you love your people and you saw them being killed by indiscriminate bombing, and you have to wait to be president to stop it? No. It's not right. This is not only sad, but it's not the type of Africa nor type of Nigeria I wish for my people. My good friends, I am not here to merely criticize one person or another, but I'm here to establish with facts and evidence, based on my own experience as an individual, the reason why I feel that we in the diaspora should go home and ensure, with every means possible within the law, with our campaign to our communities, the reason why it is important for the future of our people, the future of our children, why Jonathan should be restored to power. Jonathan must be re-elected 2015. If there is a better alternative, there is many alternatives I would have considered if they have emerged. In the West, we have somebody like Wole Soyinka, whom all his life have shown love for the goodness of the people. It's not an issue of tribal sentiment, because I'm not a German, but it's the issue of what is right and what is just. If Nigerian people accepted that Babangida should overthrow the government of Buhari, and Babangida's government was allowed to continue as a legitimate government, then that suggests that we also accepted that our government failed. If that government is accepted to have failed and it was toppled, now we want to reinvent that government in 2015, in the 21st century. The brutality of that government must have been rejected by the Nigerian people. That is why the Babangida school was accepted. Which is also when the Nigerian people become fed up of the Babangida's government, they rejected it too. Which means that we as a people have come to the maturity that we realize that there's nothing better than a civilian government. If you can check around the world, all progressive societies are democratic societies. You might be a general tomorrow, and tomorrow become a civilian government. That does not take away the despotic tendencies that is in your psyche. Democracy cannot operate with a hidden agenda of dictatorship. Democracy cannot operate by a solution being to shoot and kill every man. Democracy is a government that requires the competency of knowledge, the critical mind, the evaluative mind, the visionary mind, and the ability for a leader to allow every citizen to say their view. I have never witnessed any other government, except Jonathan's government, where a state governor can condemn an executive president and is openly and is allowed to work freely. Not that I enjoy such a scenario, but I appreciate it because these are the principles we enjoy here in the West. In the West, you are allowed to say whatever you want, and you are paid even by the government to say it, just because they want to maintain the parity of their civilization. Why should we as a people, after we have enjoyed all that is good in the world, in the Western world, and we want Africa to be short of what that is good, asking me my position regarding the presidency of Jonathan, in a nutshell, it is my wish, and as all of you have also proclaimed that it is your wish, that Jonathan should be returned 2015. Jonathan should be returned not because of being an German. Jonathan should be returned not because he is associated with Igbo people. Because we believe that Jonathan should be returned for the credibility of what he has done already. Jonathan should be returned with a desire that we want stability in Nigeria. Jonathan should be returned because it has given a hope that the smallest man in Nigeria can one day rise to become the president of the country. That is a model that Africa should emulate. That is a model Nigeria should sustain. That is a model that depicts what is expected to be a modern democracy. Considering what is happening right now on the ground, considering all forms of threat that exist right now on the ground, I feel it is a duty of any patriotic citizen to join me in the crusade, if possible, in every corner of Nigeria, in every corner of Igbo land, in every corner of the Southeast, in every corner of the South-South, for us to do our patriotic duty, to campaign and explain to the people why it is of our best interest for Jonathan to be returned to power for stability. As executive governor of Imo State, come 29th of May 2015, irrespective that I am emerging from PPA, I will have no conflict of view nor idea over the aspiration of Jonathan as the president. The reason is I can see in a man that there is greatness in humility. I can see in a man there is greatness in being calm. I can see in a man that there is hope for ordinary people in the country. Because of all this, my friends, my party, the PPA, adopted Jonathan for President 2015. And it's not only my party. All other progressive parties, be it ABGA, be it Labour Party, all have also adopted Jonathan. If all these people consider Jonathan to be good for Nigeria, if all these people consider Jonathan to be good for the Southeast and South-South, I will be isolating myself if I think otherwise. It means that I do not consider the collective understanding and reasoning of my people, which I cherish so dearly. I consider, I cherish, and I accept the will of the people. Jonathan must be returned to power. And I will go on with you to tell the world that this must be done for the prosperity and for the growth of our people. Thank you.